All right, Tim, start us off.
Ryan, there have to be all kinds of emotions floating through you right now. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, the way this team came up here, took care of business, the streak is dead, etc. What's just going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm happy for our players. I'm happy for the coaches, all the fans who were at the game. Man, it was great to see all the fans, stay all the way towards the end and cheer on our team. And here in the OHIO, right here in the stadium, it was a great moment for our players. They deserve it. They've worked hard. I thought they played really well and strong and physical in this game. And happy for our coaches. But again, like I said, the fans even who weren't here, they'll be able to wear that block O and, stand a little prouder. And so that means a lot to me, means a lot to the coaching staff, to the players, and my family. I've thought, as you can imagine, over the years, after winning this game, what I'd say in this press conference, and I'm going to save all those comments because I think the best thing to do is win with humility, and that's what we're going to do. And I think that's it speaks to our program. It speaks to what it means to be a Buckeye, and we wanted to take this rivalry game back this year. And so the way that our guys played certainly spoke to that. And they played with great passion and great physicality. And, I was disappointed that we didn't get in down there and finish a couple of those drives early, or else the scoreboard would have looked even differently than it was. But that's the rivalry game, and, I'm just happy again for our players. It's a great win, and when you think about where we were at this point last year to all the way now, there's been a lot of great football, and it's all about our players. And let's talk about like Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and what Sean Barnhouse and Adam Stewart did to help them get to be able to play in this game. Just tremendous. I mean, if you really know how much work they put in to get on the field and how gutsy they are, and I'm sure the fans and everybody would just appreciate what they did in going out there and putting it on the line. And then how about the defense? Just the physicality at the line of scrimmage, running from sideline to sideline, making plays. It was just great. They had a great look in their eye. I don't think there was any doubt when we walked into the stadium what was going to happen.
Right next door, Joe.
Ryan, the first shot play to Jeremiah, the 4th and 5, two blocks, the decision to go for it and to identify him and just how important we're to have those two guys.
When you get to this point of the season, there's just a lot of things on these weeks that, with Thanksgiving and how it works, you have to do a lot of walkthrough work towards the end of the week. And quite honestly, Jeremiah was very, very limited. So the way that for him to play the way he did with really not getting many reps all week is just a tribute to him. And then, the throw that Julian made on that ball was tremendous. But that was a play that we had walked through. If we felt like the situation called for it, the right moment. You just never know what type of situations you're going to get in a game, so you have to have a lot of options. And some of the things you can practice, but some of them you can't. That wasn't a play that we got a ton of practice in this week really at all. But we talked about it, we walked through it, and that's, again, you got to give our guys credit for putting it on the field. We felt like it was an aggressive call that we wanted to make in that moment, and so we did, and man, they put it on the field in a big way. But the protection was good, and obviously the throw and catch was excellent.
Over here to Austin.
And you talked about wanting to win with humility and show respect to the rivalry here. But you also talked about Tuesday what it would be like to be in the locker room after this game and how that celebration would be. So what was it like? I don't know what was said. That doesn't matter. What was the atmosphere in there?
It was, as you can imagine, just it'll be a great memory of mine, just being in there with those guys and enjoying the win and seeing them smile and knowing what they just did on the field. I'll leave what we said in the locker room until Bill writes another book and tells a story on this one, I guess. But no, it was just happy for our guys just to see the smiles on their faces and see the sense of accomplishment. The fact that we were going to play in this game really, really hard for the love of our brother, not for the hatred of our opponent. That wasn't what it was about, and that's what they did on the field today. And then all the hard work. And they have phones and they read things and hear things, and so they know how important this is, and this is the number one goal of our program. So to get this one checked, and now gives us an opportunity to get to number 2, and that's in Indianapolis next week, and they were already fired up about that in the locker room.
Rob and Ryan, similar to that. I know you don't like to make it about you, but what does this personally mean to you? Is this how much sense of accomplishment? It's not like it's the first time you beat them.
Sure.
You've gone through a lot since then. What does this mean? Is there a weight off your shoulders?
Well, yeah, to tell you that the last 4 years have been easy is not true. I take the responsibility of being the head coach at Ohio State very, very seriously. So does my family. So do the players. So do the coaches. So when you don't accomplish those things, you take it personally, and I understand what that means. I mean, my family's been here 9 years now, so there's nobody who wants to win this game more than me. But to win this game, it's just a great moment, and it's one of those moments that you want to just grab on for a while and just enjoy it, because just to see the joy in everybody's face is really what this thing's all about. That's what being a head coach is. It's not about you, it's not about raising trophies, it's not about winning games, it's about pouring back into the people that are around you. When I say people, it's the players, it's the coaches, it's their families, and the fans, and that's what it is. And winning just gives us an opportunity to continue to do that and make an impact. And I think, everyone and the fans and all of our supporters can recognize all the work that gets put in. And, when it doesn't go the right way, nobody wavered. We hung in there, and it isn't easy. Nothing about this profession's easy, but I'm proud of the men that we have, and happy that they got this win.
Right, where does 20 plays for 80 yards and taking 12 minutes off the clock while you run it 16 times rank among the drives you've had when you've been ahead?
Yeah, I'll have to think that through when you just said that. I guess, yeah, was that the one we scored on, or did we kick a field goal? Field goal, yeah, still, that won't rank anyway, because I kicked a field goal. That's not going to work. You can't have 20 plays and not score a touchdown. Oh, my God. When we talk throughout the year, I know you guys have been in these press conferences when we talk about what we're trying to get accomplished. And, I always say, yeah, this is all great, but how's it going to look when it's snowing sideways the Saturday after Thanksgiving? And that's exactly what it looked like today. It was snowing sideways. And that's the type of game you have to win. If we're playing this game in an indoor stadium somewhere, it's different. It's different. But that's what this game takes, and that's what we did, and we won the line of scrimmage, and, it was well done by the guys. But, and we felt like if we could get it to a 3-score game, it was going to be hard for them to come back. We felt like the defense was playing strong, and as much as we want to score touchdowns, like 3 scores in that game was going to become a lot. So, the 3rd and 5, we tried to, throw the ball in the flat to the fullback. It was probably conservative, but at that point with the snow, and it looked like we can kick the field goal. Great to see Jaden make those kicks. I mean, that's another story here of, last year and this year, and he had a great look in his eye this week, and those make a big difference, right? I mean, we field all the kicks. We, make the field goals. We, when we had the opportunities to make the shots down the field, we threw and caught them. Those, and then that all adds up in the end. But we also converted, 10 third downs and 2 of 4 on third down, so 12 of 20 between the two of them. Those were big deals as well. So a lot to it. And then I guess on defense, they were 1 of 9 on third down, and 0 of 1 on fourth down. So the defense did a great job on third down as well. And we talk about winning the situations. Those were some big ones that came up in this game.
A couple more, don't feel the Bucknuts.
Thank you, Clark. You took a couple of big shots from Michigan. The game you probably wanted to get a quick start, and with the exact opposite, everything
Right.
to go wrong. Did it feel like, okay, this is a little test for us, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, it wasn't a panic. When I saw the first run hit, I said, "You got to be kidding me right now! Like, this is not what I expected at all." And then we throw the pick, and he comes off and thought it was cover 1, and it was cover 2, and I'm like, "Geez, okay, that's not what we wanted for start." But I didn't. I never felt panicked. I felt like, all right, we're going to rally back on this thing, and the defense stepped up in a big way, and forced field goals in those spots, and those are all 4-point plays. And when you can, hold guys to 3 points early in the game, and then you get a turn, and then we had that big drive, and we just keep battling, and then you score. Now, again, we get down on there on the 1-yard line and don't get in. I mean, that was frustrating, and so you kind of going back and forth. But again, there was no panic on our side, and again, I think the communication and the chemistry between the players and the coaches is very good right now because when there's confusion, that's when there can be infighting and all of a sudden guys start to act a certain way. It didn't happen at all. And so we had a lot of confidence coming into it. And even after a slow start, we felt good.
One more for Coach Day, all the way in the back. Art?
Hey, Ryan, I don't want to take you back to maybe a less fun time than it was a year ago when you think about
It's okay, Ari. You can't ruin today for me, brother.
where you were last year and everything that has happened since you walked off the field in Columbus a year ago. When you think about the personal transformation of your reputation personally and what something like this means, this is the last thing that people can say about you. I mean, what does this mean for you personally? I know you asked that already, but how much does your reputation and everything that you go through mean for building the program into the best program in college football?
Yeah, I don't get too caught up in that. What matters to me is my family, these guys right here. Like I care what these guys think. There's no question that, the fans and all of our supporters, what this means a lot to us. And so that's what hurt the last couple of years more than anything. And you can see it in my face the last couple of years. You just feel like you're letting everybody down, and that's just not a good feeling. And so you work like hell to make sure that you do everything you can to get your guys prepared, and that's all you can do. And that's exactly what happened here. It was a build-up all year, and our guys really captured the moment and played great.
Coach, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks.
We'll take questions for Julian.